wachone waka mene wachone waka mene wachone waka mene wachone Wachone waka.
Thank you. Please join me in welcoming our good friend, Reverend Allie Benjamin.
Good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to be back here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Salt Lake. Those beautiful songs just open up our hearts, don't they? Music has a way of getting us right to that place where we can feel God's presence within us. So thank you, Leraine and Shen and Rick and Charmaine. Thank you so much. I was thinking when Reverend Linda was sharing about this is your anniversary, our anniversary. I feel like I'm part of your tribe, by the way. I first walked through the doors of the Center for Spiritual Living Salt Lake around 13 years ago. My husband Michael and I moved here from Southern California, and it was somewhere else. It was further down south then, wherever south is, I don't know, directions that way. And I met Reverend Donald Graves, and I immediately had a feeling that we were at home, because we had been in Science of Mind for many years, and we're looking for a center once we moved here to Utah, and we found this community 13 years ago, and I feel like we've been a part of the community even though we're not here every weekend. And then to work with Reverend O'Day, Reverend Elizabeth O'Day, and Reverend Myrna, who really helped support us at the Satya Center, and the Satya Center's up in Ogden, to get a start. I'm the founding minister there, and I outreach to Reverend O'Day to help us, to guide us in how to build a spiritual community and how to start a church. And we did that with Myrna and Elizabeth's help. And then when Reverend Marty showed up, he continued to support our ministry, and I believe that we are partners. We're like your little sister up in Ogden. So thank you for having me today. It's a great honor. And also 3 years ago, my husband and I, Michael, were living here in Salt Lake for a year, and at that time, Michael had come and helped to prepare this building for your arrival. Because it didn't look like this 3 years ago. It looked completely different. And actually, Claire's in the room, who actually helped to structure and plan this very space. And Michael was here scraping off some of the linoleum or whatever was on the floor so we could lay carpet down. So I feel like we are part of your tribe. So thank you for having me. Today, the theme throughout the CSL movement is global transformation through personal transformation. Global transformation through personal transformation. And I have a sneaking suspicion that all of you are here for some sort of personal transformation. Yes? Oh, I've got someone joining me. How delightful. So we look out at the world right now. We look at our greater global community. Whoop. Oh, there's a gift, or a present she's got.
She'll make sure you laugh.
Blessings. So we look out at the world and we see that there's a lot of things that are going on right now. Anyone turn the news on? No? Well, I turned the news on, and I don't typically look at the news, but I was hearing a lot of buzz, on throughout life, and I realized that maybe I should tune in and see what's happening. So I turned on the news and saw a little bit of the stuff that's happening right now. And so I take everything that is happening out there in the world that is broadcast on the news or on Facebook or on any other site that you happen to stumble across on the internet. All of those things are just opportunities. They're prayer requests. So anything that's happening, anything that you hear, any grumblings, any moanings, any discontent, any fear, any doubt, any uncertainty, all of those are simply people crying out for help. And so I know that us in this room as metaphysicians, or those that practice affirmative living, positive living, and do what we call spiritual mind treatments, we know how to work with that kind of energy, right? We know how to meet a prayer request. We simply turn to the truth that is within all of us. We may not know what to do here intellectually. We may not know how to fix those world problems. But there's something inside us that does. There's a presence and a power within each of us that knows. And so this personal transformation is really about tuning in to that power and that presence that knows. Each of us have it. And if we're still enough, if we're quiet enough, we can tune in to that broadcast. We can remember, because I think we all know how to tune in and how to create positive change in the world, right? We all know how to do that. We know as metaphysicians and those that study New Thought that we simply raise our frequency to match what we want to see in the world. We become what we're seeking. Change starts here first. We can't experience in the world of form, in the world of the physical, what we desire unless we are it first. So if we're seeking peace, we have to be. If we're seeking abundance, we have to be generous. Yeah, that's funny, huh? If we're seeking happiness, we have to be happy. So it's really simple, but it's not so easy, especially when things are going on in the world that tell us things are not happy, not abundant, not flowing. So our job is to maintain that center of love and heart and generosity and tune into that heart song. The title of my talk today is Keep Your Mind in Your Heart. And I was inspired to choose that title from a quote that I read on the internet by a wonderful teacher named Muji. Does anyone know Muji? No? He's a teacher, one or two, I see some of you. And he said this: don't remind the world that they are suffering. Remind the world that they are free. Keep your mind inside your heart. Your heart is the light of this world. Don't cover it up with your mind. And we get so wound up with our minds, don't we? We get so caught up in our minds. And it's easy to do. I think that's one of the challenges that we face on this earth walk. We hear that we're spiritual beings having this human experience. We hear be in the world but not of the world. So how do we walk this delicate path of staying heart-centered, of allowing our mind to be our great asset, and not pull us into a place of fear. We simply remember that our minds are really our best friends if we learn how to organize our thinking. It's quite simple. There's a science to it, the science of mind. You ever heard of that? So we organize our thinking, we organize our energies, we organize our emotions, and we organize our actions. And we call this alignment. And when someone is that well put together, that organized, in alignment, you'll notice that their lives seem to reflect that. Because we live in this holographic universe that reflects to us what we think about. So whatever our predominant thoughts are become our reality. Another way of saying it is you cannot have what you are not in consciousness. So we develop the consciousness so that we can have the life experience that we want. How do we develop the consciousness that matches the life that we want? So I have some ideas that I'd like to share with you. I have some ideas. Number one is to really truly know who you are. You are a divine child of God. You are divinity in human form. You are here for a short period of time, 100 years or so, to wake up to who you really are. You are here to reveal the love of Spirit. That's it. That's it. That is the answer. That's how we heal. That's how we answer these prayer requests that we stumble across online. We open up our hearts and we sing our unique song. So what's our unique song? And it's different for all of us because we're so radically unique. We're differentiated, radically unique beings, here to find our heart song and express it. And it changes over time. It was different when I was 20. Now that I'm 50, almost 5, it's different. But I know how to tune in. I meditate. I pray. I surround myself with individuals that can share my vision with me. So I remember who I am by these practices, by being mindful and knowing that my gift to the world is me knowing who I am and doing what I enjoy doing. And that seems to benefit my family and my world. All of us get to do this. We find our passion. We find what we love to do. Whether we're working or retired or not yet working or in school, we find what we love to do. And some of us that are very fortunate actually choose a vocation so that we can actually work and support ourselves and do what we love to do. And then we're singing that heart song, and that's how we create personal transformation and global transformation. Does this make sense? So we find out who we are. We tune into our heart song. And then the second thing is to be really honest with ourselves. To be really honest and willing to look at those areas in our lives that we need to grow, that we need to heal. All of us have triggers. All of us get upset and concerned and fearful and frustrated sometime. So we do the work. This philosophy, the science of mind, is not come and sit down and listen to a sermon. This is really something that we do. Each one of us are on our own individual path. And I know that it's been shared here at this center that we're all responsible for our own spiritual journey. Is that right? Is that what you've... So we're all responsible for our own experience. So we have to do the work. I'm looking at the time. So I recently had an opportunity to do some work on myself, because I do this every year. I decide what I'm going to do as far as some inner work. And I choose spiritual retreats and conferences and classes because I know that there's always work for me to do. It never ends. As long as I'm in this human suit, I'm going to have work to do. And so this year I decided, actually I thought about it last year and then I had to build up the courage to do it, but I wanted to go on a vision quest. And so I found a beautiful medicine woman to take me on a vision quest. Now, why would someone do this? Because they want to tune in. They want to tune in to that heart song. They want to discover what is theirs to bring into the world. They want to discover what's blocking that true, full expression of love. So I did this. I went out on the land for several days with no food and no water, and I tuned in the dark by myself. And I didn't like what I saw. There were several things that I was uncomfortable with, the way I worry about things a lot. And some other things. But worry was the big one. And I found, as I had nowhere to go and nothing to distract me, that worry was just a waste of time. It was a waste of time, and it was actually doing me disservice. And I went on this vision quest with a couple of objectives. One, to learn how to be a better leader for my community, and to learn how to be a better mother. And so as I looked at this worry, and I looked at other things, I realized that it was just me, and I had nothing to distract myself with. And so I went into prayer, and I went into gratitude, and I went into release. And I came out like a new person. I came out feeling lighter and more grateful to be here, to be alive. I came back with a sense of, yes, I'm excited to be the leader of my community. I'm excited to be a mother that nurtures her family and cooks healthy, nutritious meals. I identified several things that I wanted to change in my life. So I encourage you in this way, some way. You don't have to do anything as drastic as I did, but maybe it's a day with yourself where you start to look at some of the things that aren't working for you. You know what they are. They're probably coming to your mind right now. And start to create a new plan for how you want to be in the world. Because you're here, you're born to create a certain life. Are you living it? Are you living the life that you were born to create? Are you living the life of your heart? Are you keeping your thoughts aligned with what you want? Because that's why we're here. To sing our unique song. To surround ourselves with individuals that can tune into that song, that appreciate that song, that can sing that song with you. And that's what you're doing here. You're surrounding yourself with a community of beautiful, like-minded individuals that want to hear your song. Aren't you all waiting to hear each other's true song? Aren't you ready to sing your true song? Just two of you? So that's my invitation. Learn who you are. Tune into that heart song. Be willing to look at those things that need to be revealed and healed. And do it with a loving community. Do it with people that care. And that's who you are. You're a loving community that cares. So thank you for having me today. And I'd like to close with a prayer. So as we turn within, we tune into our hearts. We tune into that place that knows only love. We tune into that place together now, knowing that there is only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect, and this is my life now. So I know that each of us, as we come here today, we maybe came here because we were lonely or sad, or maybe just happy to be around friends, or maybe there's something going on. Whatever it is, whatever thing is coming to your mind right now, let us know there is healing happening right now. That the answers you've been seeking are becoming clear in your heart and in your mind. And that as you identify that life that you would love to live, that song of your heart becomes clearer and clearer. And as you identify it, as you see the path becoming clear, as you listen to that song, as you open up your heart, you simply know and trust that the universe is providing you with everything that is required for your joy and your peace and your happiness, for your prosperity and your creativity. It's right here and it's right now. So let's together in our hearts say yes. Yes to this life that is seeking to express itself by means of me. Yes to the beauty that is seeking to be and become my life. Yes to the service that I'm willing to do to support all humanity in finding our one common heart song on this planet. The song of peace and the song of joy. May it ring out in our hearts and in our minds. May it be made clear with every footstep that we take on this magnificent path, on this journey of life together. And with this clear realization, let us know that our mind gently drops into our hearts and we are inspired to be love's presence now and always. And for this I give thanks. For all of you I give thanks. May we be blessed together in the awareness of this truth. So let us say together, and so it is.
I am so blessed